Good evening. This is CTV News for Friday, January 10th. I'm Danielle Irby.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, topping our news tonight, a 62-year-old man learns his fate for a 2005 cold case in connection with a stabbing death in Laurel. It's 30 years behind bars for Michael Duval. This is a picture of the victim, 20-year-old Brian Moses. On September 15, 2005, he was stabbed by the Duval as he sat in a car near the Laurel City Hall. He died 3 weeks later. Investigators were never able to pin anything on Duval until 2016 when a witness came forward. The state says Duval killed Moses because he sold him fake drugs. Duval was found guilty of second-degree murder in October and was sentenced today.
I made that commitment to my son on his dying bed that I would find out who did this to you and bring them to justice. Today is the day that I've been waiting for over 14 and a half years. And yes, I did work hard. I helped create the crime solvers for the city of Laurel.
It wasn't an easy case, but the family's perseverance in this Brian's death was amazing and pushed me right along to bring the suspect to justice. And I'm glad I could do that for you.
In a statement to the court, Duval maintained his innocence, saying he never met the victim.
President Trump has ordered new sanctions against Iran. During a White House briefing, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said economic sanctions rather than further military strikes are a response to Iran-fired missiles at U.S. forces in retaliation for the U.S. killing of Iran's top commander, Qasem Soleimani. During questions from reporters, Secretary Pompeo was challenged on the administration's lack of detail on their claim of an imminent threat by Soleimani.
The president is issuing an executive order authorizing the imposition of additional sanctions against any individual owning, operating, trading with, or assisting sectors of the Iranian economy, including construction, manufacturing, textiles, and mining. And let me be clear, these will be both primary and secondary sanctions.
We had specific information on an imminent threat, and those threat stream included attacks on U.S. embassies. Period. Full stop.
So you were mistaken when you said you didn't know precisely when and you didn't know precisely
Nope,
where.
completely true. Those are completely consistent thoughts. I don't know exactly which minute. We don't know exactly which day it would have been executed, but it was very clear. Qasem Soleimani himself was plotting a broad, large-scale attack against American interests, and those attacks were imminent.
The latest White House comments come a day after Pompeo told Fox News that the government did not know when or where the attack would take place.
The Prince George's delegation meets for the first time in 2020. At the top of the agenda, how to fund the Kerwin Commission recommendations for education. At issue is whether the county can meet the formula that was devised by the commission or if it needs more tweaking.
The Kerwin Commission's recommendations, all of us agree with wholeheartedly. The discussion we're having now is about the numbers, people. And I think that from what I'm hearing, everyone agrees that the numbers, that there's room for us to go back to the table and to look at the numbers.
We get the lion's share from the state dollars. I don't only want to get the most state dollars, I want to get the most state dollars, right? We want to get as much as we can. We're going to work on that. We're going to help you with that tax burden, but I'm glad to hear you say that you understand Prince George is going to have to make a contribution because we need to get the adequacy for every single one of these students.
I think there's a lack of clarity on all of our parts about what those numbers are. Now, she is right, they are right, when they say that the county is going to have to put in a substantial amount of money in order to get the substantial amount of money that will come from the state. That's clear. Prince George's County and Baltimore City will get more money than any other jurisdiction in the state. But because of the types of children that we have to educate, we're going to have to put in more money than anyone else.
Thornton says he hopes lawmakers come to an agreement on the formula by mid-March.
Prince George's lawmakers choose new leadership to head the county's House delegation. After a close vote, Delegate Eric Barron was chosen as the new chair. Delegate Julian Ivey will now serve as vice chair. The changes come as a series of younger, more diverse and progressive lawmakers move into leadership positions throughout the Maryland General Assembly.
I think it's really wonderful to see, as a woman of color myself, Afro-Latina, to see the first African-American woman, right? Woman and African-American to be Speaker of the House. and to see Melanie Griffith in the Senate, Cherie Semple Hughes. They come from different counties as well, so we're well represented. I think that it shows, that we're changing as a body. We're reflecting America and reflecting our state.
It's a lot more diverse here in the state of Maryland in our General Assembly now, and so we'll be able to make sure that those perspectives are seen and through policy recommendations here in the General Assembly. So it's going to be really impactful this legislative session.
The Prince George's delegation usually meets every Friday morning just before the start of the General Assembly session.